Welcome back, pajama traders. I see a lot of aggression in the chat, passive aggressive people. Why don't you guys just stop? You think about that? Maybe you guys could just chill. That might help. It might actually help your trading. See a lot of passive aggressiveness. You're the trader. Everyone chill. Let's talk about today. Go through the usuals. What was today all about? Yields. What did I tell you to do at the beginning of the week? Go Google what yields are in the bond market. What does it mean? Anybody do that? Reinflation, reinflation, reinflation. Don, I don't care about reinflation. Okay. I'm short tech. I'm short tech. Don, can I buy Amazon? Can I buy Facebook? Can I buy Tesla here, Don? I know you're short, but I'm gonna buy it. Is that a good trade, Don? Okay, guys. What happened? Everyone is selling treasuries. Why? Because inflation's rising. Reinflation. What are they betting on? They're betting on the economy heating back up, getting shit going, vaccines, getting back to work, setting the economy back, right? What does that mean? Well, fuck bonds. What do I need bonds for if I'm betting on the economy going? Expecting heating up? So I'm going to sell my bonds. What are they going to do? Well, fuck growth. What do I want to be in COVID winners for? Those did well during low inflation and the economy doing shit, right? So what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to buy value like they've been buying value. What are they going to do tomorrow, going into the week? What are they going to do in the next month? With all that money that came outflowed, it's going to go into value. The only reason you sell bonds and you do this is to cause an inflow somewhere else because you're betting on something happening. By just selling bonds, you're already, again, we have other metrics to obviously see that the reinflation idea is happening. We know the economy's coming back. We know they're selling tech. If you were on the wrong side of the market today, then you just haven't paid attention. Could you have gotten stopped out and lost some money on some other trades? You tried to take a travel trade yesterday? Absolutely. Did it eat into your overall profit? No. Unless you bought in late. Something like this. I'm going to use different examples for different tickers because, again, it is sector. This entire move here, if you decided to now just buy yesterday at the top, you could have lost money, but guess what? All of these opened above and had clear sell times, whether it's a trend line, a support. When we look at the Russell, we have a trend line, the selling, relative reversal points. Everything was up and continuing, so even if you bought at the highest point yesterday, you could have still broke even. So, if you had a hard time today, it's because you're still on the wrong side of the market and you still want to make tech happen. You're still one of those people that want to make it happen and you're trying to trade things that are not happening. And you're just completely missing the point of what's happening with the bond market and the whole macro market. You're missing it still, and it's been happening for so long now that it is your bad. Does this chart look like it's trending up? Does this chart look like it's trending up? Did fine on my Macy's trade from the pullback. That was up today. There's a lot of things that are going to piss you off if you are still trying to trade things like this, Tesla. You're like, I'm going to make Tesla happen down here. Some of you bought this probably yesterday. I guarantee there's at least one person in chat that bought this yesterday, even though we're short tech. You guys have short-term memory. Now, I'm guessing a lot of people did a lot better here than it felt like, and some of you might have done bad, but I would say overall, everyone did probably pretty good today, considering the day from yesterday. I'm going to take a look at profit once more people put stuff in there. But if you're one of the people that, again, are trying to force something to happen, you're not going to make it happen. If you can't look at the price of today and you're mad and angry right now, you're just reacting too much. You need to take a break. You got to take a break Because if you can't see what's in front of you, then you're not trading what's in front of you. You're trading some idea that you have. All you had to do was read one article. If you didn't listen to me for the last month, you could have read an article. You guys like to put headlines together to form stories. Where's the headline in the story from every, new college grad that wrote an article in Bloomberg, Financial Times, Wall Street Journal that says, oh, reinflation. Look at all the bonds that are selling. I bet they're all they're all buying value. Value's having the best year ever, or the best month ever, comparatively. Imagine, right? I just want to make sure it stings a little. There's so many different trades out there. You didn't need to be a buyer. Tomorrow is going to be, again, the same thing as yesterday. And I want to remind everyone of what I said yesterday, real quick, before I start doing anything else. We took advantage of a lot of things from yesterday and the day before, right? We took a lot of advantage. What do? We take profit, realize gains, transition positions, understand how price moves. We don't believe that price should just have to keep going on a straight line. What I say yesterday, and I wanted to definitely piss some people off in here because you guys spewing and shit in the chat all day, and I can find it funny in myself. You don't like it, I don't really care. Told you guys yesterday, if you're not going to be able to hold through something today, which yesterday I said tomorrow, if you can't hold through something tomorrow, then just take profit now. How many of you were up a lot yesterday and now lost that money? You got to remember that moment so that the next time you don't do that, because it's you. It's just you. It's just you. Whether you convince yourself with the diamond hands meme and you're memeing or whatever it is, it's just you, right? It's just you. There is no such thing as, oh, I was just in the wrong position. If your position was up, you weren't in the wrong position. You can make dumb trades and get lucky, sure. But if your position was up and you held it and you weren't able to get out by at some point, then it was you. You did something in that moment where you convinced yourself. Maybe it's because you did hold in today, that as soon as you saw price going down, you convinced yourself that you'll hold it further. No, it'll come back. It'll come back. A lot of the times and this is again where depending on where you enter, it becomes more easy or more difficult to manage a trade. Depending on what you bought and when, absolutely it's going to be very difficult to manage those trades. If you think about a lot of the trades that we've made, now again, when you look at some of these charts, I want you to remind yourself, oops, I don't know what that is. These type of trades are long-term trades. So like the XLE energy trade, this is a long-term trade. This barely makes a blip on your position. Can you react to this due to the market? Absolutely, you can react. But again, a lot of this comes down to you're just not reacting to price. You're trying to react to something else. It's just usually your own convincing of something. What about X? What do we do? Well, X, we've been transitioning the trade every single day, almost. We took the trade over the weekend. We had to transition it here. It pulled back. We waited for the pullback. Did we cry when it pulled back? No, we weren't in position. We re-entered the trade. It pulled back through the level. We had to sell, take profit. What do we do here? Well, we took it on the breakout. What do we do here at open? Let's take a look at what happened intraday. Holy shit, we were up at open, right? We were open. We opened higher. What did we do when it broke the level? We took profit. Are you guys sad that X went down in here? I don't think so. What is the one thing you want on this trade that you've made every single day? Is for it to pull back into support so you can buy it and do it again. So you can do it again. So again, I'm going to now show it like so Ecto said he bought IWM. Now again, this does have some growth in it, and it makes violent moves both ways. But even this, right? Here's 2 days ago. Here's a low of 2 days ago. In support. What is the likelihood that this is going to retrace here? Probably pretty fucking high. Pretty high. Does that mean you should be putting big positions on to go long? Absolutely not. Market's consolidating and we understand what's going on and we understand where we can make points. And we keep saying every day that this average, whether it's going up or not, is not vindicative of what an indication of what we're really looking to do. Right? When you look at a lot of these charts that are down through here, a lot of these are opportunities. And a lot of times or what I see in a lot of you guys is that the only opportunity you see is when price is going up, when that's the opposite. When price is going up, that's an opportunity to sell to someone else. Like I said yesterday, that feeling at the end of the day yesterday to just go and realize some gains, oh, it feels good because now I know those are the people that felt bad today. And you should feel good when other people feel bad. Yeah, someone didn't put food on the table because they put a big bet on. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's talk about volatility. Right, the expectation of volatility breaking here today, it was clear. It was clear. Yields are going up. There's fucking rotation. What do we talk about when there's rotation? And what's the correlation on the spot VIX? The correlation here is that if the broader market, which is when we look at the S&P futures, if that's going down, this is going up. It's only correlated to the downside, not on the bull side at all. Easiest thing out there. And you didn't need to wait for it. This is not like an other equity trade where you need to go wait for a break on a level. No. This is as soon as you saw those yields at open. We've been seeing the yields creep, and I've talked about it a lot, right? I've talked so much about this idea and what it means, and I talked about it. What do I say? Speculation is what's causing price to move. Once the thing happens, that's when things change. What did I say this open? I said price is on speculation. Price continues to move because of speculation, but as soon as the event happens, this is the event, things change. So now the rotation's actually happening, right? So now you just got all the gains from that entire idea, right? You get the gains from that entire idea. And again, this is not a good example, but through all this was all the speculation that what just happened in terms of rotation it just happened. This whole thing happened because of reinflation. Guess what? We have confirmation of it. We have confirmation of it based on all of our metrics. Is it overall fear that there's going to be further outflow? No, because it didn't go anywhere. It's going to rotate back further into value. So again, those of you that, you're going to continue, and I've said it on all these charts, you're going to continue to do the same thing. And some of you are convincing yourself still that, well, now I can buy the tech dip here. I can go buy Tesla now on this dip. You guys are still missing the trades that are there in front of you. You're just missing the trades in front of you. That's a reason when I was confident about the travel trade, right? Every time I was confident about the travel trade, I'd ask, continuing to miss each time, and now you get a pullback opportunity. The same thing's going to probably happen again. A lot of these charts need to consolidate these big rallies, right? It's a lot of value that has been gained, but a lot of the times, even when you get these pullbacks, it's hard for the market to look at this because they want to go look at something else. They see, oh wow, look at this Apple, right? I short Apple here, and then it's like everyone wants to look at the long side. And everyone wants to look to the long side. Yeah, you want to be looking for pullbacks, but again, when we're short on an entire sector and an entire idea, and it's a macro idea, it's not just one ticker. It's a convergence thing, and it's going to just make it true, right? It's going to make it true. We were short tech this whole time. There's some of you and some people out in the market that continue on to make it happen. You're putting your money on the line and you're shorting everything else by being long here, right? Whatever it is for tech or anything, right? You got to stop wasting energy on some of those ideas. Trade what's in front of you. Could you trade anything today? Very hard to buy anything today. I told you to go take a nap. I took a nap today. How many of you were watching markets, you're looking at your 1 minute charts freaking out all day, stressing out of your mind, when you're not even probably in a position anyway? Some of you, the best thing you can do is just get away from the computer. Is there anything to really do today? Not really. There wasn't really anything. Is there anything new or surprising? Nope. A lot of confirmation though. There was a lot of confirmation of ideas. So again, where do you think the market's going to go? When I asked you over here and I said, where do you think the market's going to be next week? It's going to be higher. If I ask you today, where do you think the market's going to be next week? It's the same. We're in the same week, by the way. Where do you think the price is going to be? Where do you think it's going to be? Where do you think this chart's going to be next week? Now, there's a difference between tech and some of the value ideas. When you look at these charts, absolutely is a big idea, and so it really matters which side you're on. Yeah, you can say that half the time, you can say every trade has a winner and a loser, right? 50-50. So just like right now, 50-50. If you've been in tech, you've been on the losing side. If you've been on the value side, and again, I don't need to say all of the tickers again, then you've been on the winning side. So again, if today was a part of a sell day, right, a sell event, and so some of those tickers absolutely lost value, but you've already gained through that entire process everything that was there. It's like when you look at something like this here, right? You've already gained through this entire move here. Do you care about this move here other than it's allowing for a new opportunity, right? Again, we don't compare, or we do not judge our performance or your idea of yourself as a trader from day to day. We don't say, oh, this was a bad day, something like that. No, there's going to be red days, there are green days. It doesn't matter what the color is or what the price move is. You don't care about the company or what the price is. You care about what there is to trade. What does this offer here? Well, this offers a pullback opportunity, I would say, for these charts. What's the idea on these charts? Well, they still have a long way to go in terms of retracement. Who wants to make I mean, I don't need to bet you guys because I bet the market. But again, the idea that this is not going to be higher in a month, you're just wrong if you think that value is not going to get the money, because that means you just don't understand how yields work. You don't understand how the bond market works. You don't understand the flows, which again is what I say. You've got to understand how some of these things work. And it's for a day like today, you could be very unclear and unsure what's happening. If you're unsure, then do nothing. We always talk about you need clarity. If these type of ideas don't make sense to you, and some of you, when we did start trading value, wanted to just trade tech, and so you've kept yourself on the sideline. That's better than losing money, of course, and stressing yourself out. If you're not comfortable making some of the trades and you don't understand it, then you don't need to trade it. Wait for something more up to your speed, of course. Again, take a look at the dollar. Did any money go over here into safe haven? Any money go into safe haven with relation to volatility? No, we don't see it here. So no money, we had no outflow into cash. The money went somewhere. Where do you think the money is, right? Again, you can't hide $1 trillion under a fucking mattress. It's just not going to happen. The money has to go somewhere. You're either in or you're out. I don't see the out, right? The out isn't, it would be in here. It's not out. Volatility rose, which is great for us, by the way, because the problem with value in those trades is that we lose volatility as we trend. That volatility is going to help us so much. Those of you that are in these positions, right, whether it's banks, travel, not so much travel, because travel did have big pullbacks and travel is always volatile, but energy, right? You're in these long trades. You saw a significant spike. A lot of you that have long terms in this area, I know you saw that even through this pullback, and depending on individual tickers, you actually see a rise in your IVs towards that long side, and it's propping up your premiums. So again, I think a lot of you that aren't in position, it's hard for you to see. It's hard for you to see what the other side looks like, and it keeps you from being in there. You got to realize what we've been trading, and so hopefully, going into tomorrow, for some of you, you come in with a fresh mindset, and you're willing to just continue to do what we do here. Right. Think of all the charts that did decently well today and held their value, and that means not losing as much as the market average. If a chart lost less or was equal or break even or put some points on, it's a bullish chart, right? You don't need to be just going long though. You've had short opportunities all week, and I think a lot of you, I know, because it happens with even just the way I talk about things, because I'm buying things and doing things, and people get excited, again, like on a buy day, you forget the whole short idea, and I think a lot of you don't want to short anyway. A lot of you, by not shorting, are actually hurting yourself because you're trying to then buy, and I talk about you can't just buy and then want to sell on each candle. You can't be, oh, I'm a buyer, oh, I'm a seller, oh, I'm a buyer. It's a swing mentality. You have to be able to get it over multiple days. And so again, yes, there's time when you're transition and you need to be taking profit and you get stopped out, whatever it is. But you have to be able to keep that one mindset. What has been the mindset this week? To be short. To be short this here, right? To be short this. Long hour value positions that have their own velocity, but to be short the fucking rest. Those of you that were not, you did have a hard time protecting your downside. I know you did, because you felt like you were doing well, because every time the prices went up, your volatility is so much higher that you're getting quite the exponential there. So you're looking at your options, you're like, holy shit, doing pretty good here. That's because you made a bet that less people are making, right? Less people were betting that prices were going to go up, right? That's why when you look at value, yeah, we're just fucking trending, right? Because we've been doing it for months. You're making those trades. It's like when I took the big shorts from last week, right? I started shorting last week. Some of you don't want to short, but again, you're cutting legs off. You're cutting options off. You're removing your ability to make money. So if you're not making money, a lot of you are losing money, and the market's losing money, and you're not able to now to at least cover those losses by just having a short in, whether you consider that a hedge for yourself or not. If you want to convince yourself you're hedging your position, whether you traded volatility today to hedge that, they're really not hedges. They're just trades, right? Just a trade. Tomorrow, it's very important. It's very important you decide right now whether you have clarity of what's going on. If you don't understand the idea, you're not allowed to trade tomorrow. That's what I would say. If you don't understand why we've been trading value for so long and why there was an outflow from bonds and why the yields increased by an insane amount, and why back here I was talking about how volatility could cause a liquidity event in the bond market selling, and that's why we track the bond ETFs and everything else. All these things, if you don't understand some of this stuff, you're going to have a very fucking hard time tomorrow because you're going to have no clue how to put risk on over the weekend. There is going to be a frenzy tomorrow, because all those institutions need to put these positions on from the bond market. Overnight is going to be an absolute nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare because over here, they're going to need to make decisions. Europe is value. Asia is more tech oriented. All of them are opportunities. And again, when I say that we're value, the average will go together. Just like when we look at the SPY was almost close to all-time high anyway, even though it's so tech dominated. So it's not just that those charts can't put points on. They're most likely all going to retrace. But the thing to remember here is that also in China, even though those are tech companies, the Hang Seng has just been doing very well. Yes, it's consolidating with our market as well, but all of that money that came out of treasuries is going to need to find places to go. We're going to see the flows tomorrow probably more than we've really ever seen in terms of the way that money's going to flow. That money that comes from treasuries goes fucking everywhere. It doesn't just go to one market. It's going to be going everywhere. We haven't seen an inkling in the dollar whatsoever yet. So this is going to be extremely important. This was fucking spiking down. And again, we haven't got an outflow. So it's very important that we watch flows tomorrow. Again, flows over fundamentals. Again, the opportunities are out there. You just have to be willing to take the opportunity when it's there. We're going to watch the dollar, see how the flow goes. If the Hang Seng did very well today, Europe did well today, we need to see how that money works itself into tomorrow. And again, it's not for trading today, not for trading yesterday, not for tomorrow. It's for trading where is price going to be next week, the week after that, because you're not making a day trade. You're making an actual trade to make some money. You can make a day trade every day, guess back and forth, trade on variance, and if some of you're just better than break even. As you get increased size, you can make money, but that's not making true money, right? There's too much going on there. You got to be betting correctly on where price is going to go by next week, so that you can put trades over the weekend and make some serious money. Again, those of you that haven't made money so far, yeah, it's really fucking hard to trade right now. Those of you that weren't able to enter at lows, yeah, you had a really hard time managing your positions that you bought up here. And that's, again, why we try to get timing. Look at all these different things out here. It's like, you look at this trade, you didn't even post a lower low to yesterday. You're still trending towards the upside, but it's really easy to say that this is a really bad day. But again, you got to think about these all together in terms of what the moves are. It's really easy to look at these large candles and feel bad, and because you want some things to go up. You got to remember that's you're getting dragged by different averages, and you don't care about the market day. What did I tell you to do on this day here? To remove those candles from your charts. Remove the candle from your chart. Remove it from your mindset. So what did I say this morning? You either need to remove this or buy on it. Look at these. Look at there's so many charts, and I want you guys to go through some of the charts that did well today and to look at some of those. Let some of them give you some ideas of maybe what you should be doing over the weekend. Again, we know what we need to be trading. It's just when should we be doing it? When do you need to chill? There's a lot of you that buy late on ideas, and that it makes you get stopped out and that it doesn't look good. It's like our own accountant here, right? You buy a little late, the idea is great. But it's the timing that's just a little off. And then you see a candle like this and you're like, Jesus Christ. That's a lot. Well, yeah, there's a ton of volatility right now. It's opportunity, though. Volatility, there's nothing better. I'm going to take a look at the profit section, see what we got in here. Let's see. Basically, no one responding. That's fine. You don't need to share anything today if you feel bad. I see red. I would have to imagine things are red today. I would have to imagine. Red, minus 15. Net 5% from 2 days ago. Again, keep things in perspective. How'd you do on the week? Tiger minus 1,000. Stopped out of AL, F, and LLY. Absolutely. Again, if you didn't enter, if you enter down here, look how well you're doing. You enter down here, look how well you're doing, right? That's the part that hurts. Oh, you didn't buy in the pullback and you bought here? Yeah, you get stopped out. Again, it's about when you take it. What about tomorrow on these charts? What do you think about this chart? Some of you believe in these charts. You believe in this chart. Are you going to be a buyer? Or are you going to look at today and say, no, you know what? I don't know now. You bought up here, sold down here. These are the kind of things that you maybe, let's say, you sell something, you got to be able to get back and buy it. You buy something, you got to be able to go sell it too, short it, whatever it is, when the time comes based on price. For a lot of you, I think the best thing to do, if you had a hard time and feel stressed today, is to take some time to maybe realign yourself, realign a little bit. You had a hard time getting stopped today. You had a hard time managing things today. Yesterday you were all hyped. Today you were down. Today wasn't as large of a move as yesterday towards the upside on almost every chart, besides the market as a whole, because tech takes up a larger cap size. So those of you that went from really high to really low, you got to figure out a way to remove that. A lot of the times, all it takes is an understanding of what's going on. I know a lot of you don't understand what's happening in the bond market, and I've talked about it before, and I know it usually goes over, and we don't really talk about it. I would highly recommend taking tonight to go look at what's going on in that. Go learn about yields a little bit. Understand why we trade in that market, and how the yields normally move, and why when you look at that number today and you look at this, the 2-year, 5-year, the short term, why are these yields increasing by so much? Why is there so much coming out of this today? And why we've been seeing it trend so much, right? Look at this curve here, right? This curve here, this wasn't just today. It wasn't just today. Remember when I talked about the 10-year going over 1%? And that was the start. But we talked about what comes from that, right? We talk about these things. You never know when things are really going to develop and happen and rotate at that moment. That November 9th candle, I want you guys to remember this candle. It's very hard not to. This day here, remember this day here? Did you guys have a bad day on that? Yeah, almost everyone here had a fucking bad day because you were caught off guard. You're caught off guard over here. Right? And we were up though. This was a rotation from tech into value. But over here, everyone went long value, so I'd have a very hard time trying to understand what happened here because you lost a lot on the day, but even though you're up on the week. It's the same thing over here being rotating here. You've got to be able to be patient, understand that things need to consolidate, make moves, even though we're signaling through bets. All-time high still, right? You're signaling moves. This is fucking ton of volatility that, again, is not shown on the VIX. How many days have I said that this is not showing the true volatility? I've said it every day. I know I've said it every day. So I made sure. Sticky noted it. This doesn't show the true volatility, and we understand that. We understand that the movement is violent. I've said every time there's a move, it's violent. It's instantaneous, right? So you have to respect it more. You have to respect it more because it's the same way to the upside. A lot of you look at gains where the underlying goes up 10% in a day, and you think it's normal, and you just like it. It's good, great. But then the market goes down 3%, and it's the fucking end of the world. You guys get so used to some of these big moves to the upside that you don't know how to handle the moves to the downside. If the move isn't green every single day, well, then it just isn't good. You got to be able to make gains on those days that it's there. So if you didn't make the gains yesterday, then you had a bad day today. If you made the gains yesterday, then you didn't give a shit about today, because today is your sort of vindication. You feel fucking great. You did the right thing. So again, you're going to get to the point where a day like today is basically making your day in the week from before even more powerful for what you did, because you maximized that one moment of time and minimized this moment, because by virtue of just maximizing those gains in that moment and making that money in that time and taking advantage of that fear buying, you're able to then manage this situation a lot better, because you're not in a situation where you feel like you need a revenge trade. How many of you have thought about like, oh, I'm down, I need to make the money back, right? Well, you're only in that situation because you put yourself in that situation, right? And that's where you've got to be able to manage those things. You know yourself better. If you lost money today and you feel like you need to make it back, then you shouldn't trade tomorrow, because you're going to make a decision that's going to fuck you up, right? When there are going to be trades tomorrow. There are going to be trades tomorrow, but you need to be mindful of what you're buying here. You got to be mindful. When you look at the volatility here, right? It's really easy to say, oh, it's going to come down tomorrow, right? It's very easy to see these things. Oh, we rotated everything today. You don't know. You need to be patient. You got to be patient. Do we buy on today, or do you wait till tomorrow? If we look at this out of context and take it out of context, you've got a big red day candle here pulling it a support. We buy the next day at the open. We always talk about 2 days, that one daily candle into the next daily candle. You open bid. This is not a good example, but it's fine. You'd be buying at open on the support if it goes bid, just like any other day. And guess what? You've got the whole day ahead of you tomorrow. You've got the whole day if you buy from open, if it's there, depending on your chart. It depends where you put the money, though. It was very easy to go say this on tech on a lot of charts like Amazon, right? I think some of you were doing it, and I told you yesterday that you can't do that, right? You can't do that. You're buying something that you're buying on support, sure, but now you just convinced yourself that, oh, because of my rule, I can do that, when that's not the case in terms of what's going on in terms of flows. There's no demand there to go bid. There isn't any. We know there's not, because everyone's going short tech and going long value. It's the same momentum trade that was made in the summer where everyone was going long tech and shorting value. It's changed. Today it fucking changed. People were going long value before, yes, leading into this, but the difference now is that they're momentum trading it. They're going to momentum trade it, just like we did with tech in the summer, which is again to go long tech and short value. You do that at the same time. You do it at the same time. There's too much volatility that's not being given justice and seen. And again, it's because of the bets. Everyone's shorting and shorting and shorting. If you're taking the short bet, I'm going to say that you're making a trade that 99% of people are making. So you're not making, you're almost wasting time. You are almost wasting time. It's again, you're basically buying T-bills. You're buying treasuries at that point. In terms of return, there's a reason why volatility keeps staying where it is, because everyone is trying to keep this down for a reason. And look what just happened today. The biggest fucking spike in yields in a while. And it's like nothing is happening. The equity market did react because it's like, well, shit. But it is the equity market that reacted, not volatility, which is not a good way of showing things. It means our math is wrong. I told you the math's been wrong for a long time now, right? Math has been down. The math has been wrong for a while. It's just incorrect. Look at this chart, right? We kept holding and holding and holding. You know how many different corrections or anything are in here? How many corrections happen in here? It's mind-boggling, right? But we know that's what's going on, so you gotta take it accordingly. Yeah, you could say since it's trending, you can short it, but again, put that money to use. Put the money to use, because you could have put it in. Again, you could have put it in anything value in the last month, 2 months, made money, right? There's a couple of trades to talk about in terms of individuals. I don't really have anything else to talk about. For instance, the Twitter buy over here, pushing it into today. We talked about you most likely don't need to transition this today. What's the difference of how this went from when I talked about it in pre-market into the day? Well, over here, you don't need to transition it until the market starts to remove demand from you, right? Once the market starts to remove demand for you, when we talk about transitioning, the velocity, we trade it based on the ticker's own velocity. But as soon as the market starts to impact our ability here, this is when you know when it's time, right? You know when it's time. Here, you're not selling. I didn't sell through this, but as soon as this started happening, you see the market happen. And again, we got off the call. We got off the call at noontime. And then as soon as that starts to happen, you got to respect it. So transitioned, as in take profit, looking for the next opportunity. Again, some of these charts are getting affected by the market, and you're going to have to remove some of these ideas, and it's going to allow you to do a little bit better. So expect charts tonight to be a little, maybe a little bit creative. Maybe the lines are a little out there. I'm going to see. I've already looked at some charts before I jumped on the call. I mean, basically everything we're looking at is what we're looking at. We're not going to force anything still. So again, you want to be spiteful tomorrow. Good luck. You're not going to get help because the market's going to hurt you. Absolutely. No revenge trading. You guys are in a bad mood. Keep it to yourself. You want to talk about something? Talk about it. Find out what you can do better. Find out ways you can do it, but negativity is certainly not going to help. You can be pissed that you lost money, but use that to focus and do something good with it, right? And I get pissed all the fucking time. I get pissed at dumb things. But, I'm going to work hard. Fucking tired out of my mind, but doing charts every night, trying to figure things out. There's a lot to do. If you only spent, listen, you guys are here during the trading day, but you don't spend the hours after it. Can you really be mad? How many of you haven't looked at charts for over an hour in a night? How many of you last night didn't spend more than an hour looking at charts? You didn't spend maybe more than 20 minutes, and then you lost money today. Can you really be mad? Are any of you can be mad that you lost money, but are any of you allowed to seriously be mad? Did any of you how much time did you put in? Right? A lot of times it's because you can put 20 minutes in and then make money, and then you're like, well, I did something right. But then as soon as you lose money, now there's an excuse. What about you didn't look at charts for over 30 minutes? I know there's plenty of people in here that have made lucky money. They come in here, look at the chart, buy it. But as soon as you lose money, now all of a sudden it's not about how much work you put in. Do you think that the people that are putting more work in are making more money, maybe lost less money today than you did? Absolutely. People that put more work in absolutely did better. People that have been spending a lot of time, those with 10,000 hours, right? We talk about 10,000 hours to be an expert at something. The money comparatively that people lost today to maybe the money I lost today, or the money I'll make tomorrow, maybe the money I'll make next week, is because of the hours I put in beforehand, right? I get paid on the 10 minutes of trading that I did today because of the 10,000 hours I did before, right? Just like those of you doctors out there, lawyers out there, those of you fucking lawyers out there, you little shitters with your JDs and stuff, right? You do 10 minutes of work because of the 10,000 hours you did before, right? That's just it. So again, it comes down to work. You want to succeed tomorrow? You better look at some goddamn charts, because nobody knows, other than it's going to be value oriented. Nobody knows with the exact levels how people are going to feel, treat it. You don't got any clue what retail's going to do tomorrow. Retail could just go all in, Penn, DraftKings. These charts, this move here really sets up nice moves for tomorrow. We didn't get to get that buy off here today. Maybe you get a pullback, very doubtful. Probably there's some weird situations that open up tomorrow on some of these retail charts. Penn looks for a good opening buy here on support. Not that you should always be buying when the market's pulling back, but again, you could be ready for anything, and you're gonna have to look at charts. If you're not gonna put the time in tonight, I would say that you should just not trade tomorrow. There's too many variables out there, way too many. And there's not enough for me to tell you. When I'm over here shorting stocks and then you guys are buying long, I mean, there's really, it's very, it's very coincidental, and there's not really a good way to facilitate multiple trades at the same time and explain them at the same time while you're trying to make the trades, right? Again, you could have fucking put long SeaWorld. If you didn't beat SeaWorld today, then you feel pretty dumb, right? Again, talked about the SeaWorld trade. A good example of what do you care about? What do you care about tech selling for? You shouldn't be long tech in the first place. You should be benefiting off it, shorting it, right? There's plenty of things to do. I'm going to post quite a bit of stuff tonight. I'm going to post bullish and long, bullish and bearish charts. Again, I posted a shit ton of bearish charts. If you didn't see those, here's what they look like today. Here's what the shorts look like today. Over here, minus 14. Blink. I'll just show these quick because, again, I think some of you short-term memory, some of the short trades. So Blink, PSNL, NEO, again, trend lines. As soon as the trend line breaks, you can short. Tesla short. The short of volatility, I went long volatility the other way. What's a good one? Ride's a good one. Ride's been a good one. What about ENPH? ENPH is a great one with that trend line from the flag that we traded. Oh, we wanted to go long, then it didn't go long. Oh, we'll short it then, right? FSLR, again, how long have we been doing this? There you go. There's a chart from the 16th, from the 17th. These type of trades, right? Yeah, we were bullish on these. We are bullish on these overall, but not in the short term here. So again, here's a good example of how long have I been saying that clean energy is great, going long on it, and then I went short on it, right? You got to be able to get those points because the points I made on that cover a lot of the different things I'm trying to do going long, right? What about GoPro? First of all, ARC, right? We've been talking about ARC, the outflow and everything, and I talked about how hard of a time this was going to have. So the ARC-G and then the regular ARC chart talked about how hard of a time it was going to have once that outflow started, because there is nothing good here. All it is flows. So as soon as you remove flows, what happens? Price goes down. So these type of charts, again, I mentioned these, but I know it kind of slips through the crack. It's fine. It's okay. But these are the type of things that you can be making money on. AMD, super bearish. How many times did I say that AMD was bearish? And then since we're trading semiconductors, it's like, no, I'll give it a chance, right? And you remove some of the ability to look at this without bias, right? Maybe this is something you traded before. Well, like the laser chart, right? We traded laser for a while, and then I say that it's bearish and we can trade it, and then it's like, well, you know what? I don't think I'm going to trade that. There's a lot of good examples. Facebook, right? Facebook, I talk about shorting Facebook every day, and then after I post the chart, it only goes down 0.5%, jumps up the next day with the market, but then it's like some of you actually took it to the meme level and convinced yourself that since it was going up a little bit here with the market recovering, that this short was bad, I post the chart the next day, and then that this was not an opportunity, right? You convinced yourself. I know you did. I know some of you did because it's a meme to you. You can have things be fun in a meme, but a lot of times all you're doing is removing your ability to be critical and to make good decisions. It's true. We're short tech. Those of you that are trying to take a stab and trying to make money here, maybe you made $200 and you're like, ha, got them. But it's just not, it's not good practice. It's just not good practice. I don't know. You gotta certainly figure some of those things out. I think some of you're now understanding how important it is to be able to short. I talked about this like a few months ago that since we were going long so much, that a lot of the problem was going to be the ability to take advantage during the times that you need to go short, because a lot of times there's such short-term trades, you make it over a day or two and you're done, and it covers everything that you need to be able to short there. And I did talk about that idea that if you're unable to do it, it really removes, it actually minimizes the amount of tools you have to actually trade, and it hurts you for not doing it. Like during the summer and everything and going into this year was fine to not short anything, but that ability to be able to swing in between different trades, and not through a hedge idea, but to actually short another ticker while going long on another it's so important, because again, it's sort of diversifying through a comparable means of you're making the same trade. It's just if you're trading value, then that means growth isn't getting money. So again, flows wise, it makes sense. You got to be able to do some of those. And again, I think now this week and some of the price movement with volatility, you see that you have opportunities there. You do. And again, those trades, they offer a lot of chances. And especially if it's on a larger ticker, like something like Apple this year, it would take me 100 different trades to get the sizing that I got on this one trade. It would take me 100 different trades to make the money I made on this trade, because again, Apple allows for larger sizing. If this was a bunch of small caps, mid caps, it'd take 100 trades to do it. Here you can make one big trade. So for some of you, that's not a problem, but it's still the same case that when that opportunity's there, if you don't feel comfortable to take it because you've never done it before, that's exactly where the experience part comes in. Because the money that you can make from the short term, from the shorting trades, are going to cover the days like today where you feel like you lost things. And that's why a lot of you feel so connected to the green side and going long, because you don't know how to go short. It's your fucking fault. It's not your fault that you haven't had time to learn it, but you can't blame, an overall sort of an excuse factor when it's yourself that you just haven't learned it yet. You got to learn more, right? A lot of you have a long way to go in terms of learning. You've done decent enough so far. You're managing, making, and learning. Trading is a part, the only way to learn is to trade, right? But again, you got to realize that that's an important part of trading, is to be able to go short. If you're not able to go short, then everything is a long trade to you. And only if it's going up is it good, right? So for some of you, maybe the next thing here is to now start to look at that short side, figure out how to implement that, learn how it works. It's the same trade, just the opposite way. It's a little bit quicker, a little bit less demand. But that will help you so that on days like today, you don't go, well, fuck, the market's down. I can't do literally anything. You literally can't do anything. And I know some of you feel that way. Again, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen immediately. It doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take a fucking year to learn how to do some of that, right? The reason why I said don't do Nattenberg is it's going to take you fucking 2 years to learn that book. It's going to take 2 years to learn that book for most of you. So, again, these things take time. You're never going to beat someone that knows more than you. You're never going to beat someone. It's just no gambling involved. There is no luck involved. Sometimes you get luck on gaps. It's real hard to fucking get a gap every day. So think about some of these things, and then don't beat yourself up when there's just something you can't do because you've never learned it. That's okay. But you need to, with those rules, restrict yourself and understand how not to be emotional about things because you don't know how to do it in the first place. And you're only trying to go long. Keep that in mind. Probably an eye-opener. If you only look at the long side, then that's your bias. And some of you might now realize that, shit, maybe this is why I'm so happy on green days and so sad on red days. Because I know on red days I don't have a chance. But you should really feel happy because you buy on red days, but that's fine. It's fine. Tomorrow's going to be fun, guys. I'm going to see you in the morning again. It's money and it's learning. You guys probably learned a lot today. If you didn't, go figure out what to learn. There's a lot to learn. So go look at your charts. I'll watch out for my charts tonight. I'll see you guys in the morning. I'll try to give a little bit better direction. I know a lot of times when I just say, I'm going to go take a nap today, guys. Taking my profits, I'm out of here. That's not exactly helpful for some of you. So be a little bit more hands-on tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Enjoy.